From the Schmoes No Network Studios in Los Angeles, California, it's time for Guilty Movie Pleasures. And now, here are your hosts, two of the guiltiest cats I know, Josh Macuga and Steve Simeone.
What's up, Schmoville?
Wow, that was good.
That was perfect. It was like we did that on purpose.
Talking about. Welcome back, Steve, to Guilty Movie Pleasures in Schmoville. Welcome in. Up top, you guys are killing it every week on iTunes. I think we hit like 5 or 6 last week.
Come on, feel the noise.
Come on, feel the
Girls,
noise.
rock your boys.
Yes. Last week was a ton of fun. This week we're talking about a movie that we're disagreeing on somewhat.
Yeah.
Please, if you guys don't agree with either one of our opinions, or you just want to laugh along, just enjoy it. Tell a friend, subscribe to the iTunes channel, go to Schmoes No Podcast on YouTube, youtube.com/Schmoes No Podcast. Watch it, share it, like it. Go to our Facebook page, being run by Cody the Intern, on Facebook, Guilty Movie Pleasures, the Guilty Movie Pleasure Show on the Schmoes No Network. It's a long title, but it's in there.
There you go.
And based solely on the fact that Maze Runner was released this week or last week or whatever, we're doing Labyrinth, which was the precursor to Maze
It was a maze.
Runner.
It was a maze movie.
Yeah.
Plus, it's the fall. I'm sure there's some corn mazes going up around town as people try to get festive.
In my town there was a maze, like haunted house maze in a corn thing, and you could volunteer. You could volunteer.
Oh, to work it.
And I was like, I would jump out at kids and stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I don't like scary stuff. Maybe
Really?
that's why. Okay, I got to be honest. This
Go.
movie wasn't for me.
Yeah. You said that right before we went on air.
Because honestly, this is the first time I got to see it.
Yeah.
Which is
for
weird.
Me, I saw it when I was like 8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think I was trying to figure out what the demographic would be for this movie.
Yep.
And I came up to two theories.
Okay.
That it's because if it was for really little kids, this would be scary.
Yes.
Like for a 4, 5, 6-year-old kid, it's like evil Muppets.
Sure.
Not cool for
it was
little
directed by
guys.
Jim Henson, so Muppets.
Right. And then if you're like an 11-year-old boy, you're like, this is stupid.
Yes.
So I figure it was for like 8, 9, 10-year-old boys. Mm-hmm. But I think the movie's really for 11-year-old girls.
I don't disagree.
I think that's what it's made for.
We have a special guest calling in a little bit that is going to, gush about her love of this movie.
Yeah, and I could understand if you're a girl and you love
Right.
this movie.
See, here's the thing for me is I was such a big fan of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Me
the
too.
original with Gene Wilder.
Come
and
on.
My
spot on Comedy Central that's coming out in October is a 10-minute piece on Willy Wonka and how that movie made me want to be a better person.
I just wanted to live in a place where there was a chocolate waterfall, and that was a possibility.
Wow, a chocolate river. Remember Violet? She's chewing the gum. A chocolate river, and then Augustus. Help.
We're gonna
Charlie,
do that.
remember? We have to do that movie. One of my
absolutely.
all-time favorites.
So, so my mom and dad both worked, and so we had these babysitter, this family right next door to us, and we would go stay with them after school, like when we were younger, and we would always watch Willy Wonka or this movie.
Willy Wonka, I'm on board for.
On board.
Golden
This
ticket.
movie-
Charlie, you're rooting for him.
No,
I wasn't rooting for this chick.
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
She got this role out of the blue. Some big names that were like young at the time were Marissa Tomei, Sarah Jessica Parker, Helen Bonham Carter, all auditioned for this role.
Wow.
She got it.
They all became stars.
All became stars. Jennifer Connelly won an Oscar. She also got a double-sided dildo in her butt in Requiem for a Dream.
What?
That's just a little heads up to the kids out there. You don't remember? Did you see Requiem
I
for a
don't
Dream?
think I don't remember if I
It's
saw.
with
I would have
Jared Leto.
remembered that. No, never saw it.
No, okay. It's a really dark movie. Darren Aronofsky. Anyway, she's in that. It's really twisted. Anyway, so we would watch this movie, and you think it's for 8, 9, 10-year-old boys and 11-year-old girls. For me, it's for people that just want to do drugs.
Okay.
This movie, like the scene where the animals are ripping each other's heads off and throwing them around,
Creepy.
that's drugs.
All right, here's the thing. You hit on a good point. You were like, this reminded me of this Requiem for a Dream. I never saw it. I don't like dark stuff.
Sure.
And this is almost like a dark Muppet movie.
That's exactly what it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And
the dark and Muppets are supposed to be really happy. Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, they run around, they do all kinds of stuff. Yeah, she gets the. Okay.
You're a Muppet. You're supposed to be cute. Bring some joy into the world.
No, not in this one.
No.
Everybody hates one another.
No, what I thought was interesting is how the movie opened up.
Right.
Because I had tabula rasa. I just knew David Bowie was in it and looked kind of creepy. He looked like, like a goth call escort. That's what he looks like.
Joan Jett in 1981. He's a woman in this
I thought it was
movie.
Lita Ford. Honestly, I thought it was Lita Ford walking off the set of the Kiss Me Deadly video with Ozzy. I'm like, wait, I thought David Bowie was in this. Is that Lita Ford? Is that Did they use the set of Bark at the Moon from Ozzy Osbourne's?
It's like
classic.
Every girl that wanted to be like a punk rocker and like growing up in the 80s to early 90s dressed like him for Halloween. And this is a dude.
Yeah.
He's got very female features except for his junk, which is prominently shown in tight pants the whole movie.
Yeah, Crack.com did this whole thing about how this movie's about female masturbation fantasies.
But if you're jerking it to David Bowie, isn't that
I don't know.
He's not
man.
exactly...
It was creepy. Okay, so it opens up, and I don't know if it's in this... I was like, is it olden times? Yeah. The way it opens up, they make it seem like it's like in a land far, far away. That's what I thought was happening. And then it's like, there's this teenage girl that's practicing her play.
Right.
And for some reason, there's an owl there.
In some crappy park like near Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, and then she goes into her house, and I'm like, it's not olden times.
Right.
And then her stepmother, her stepmother's mean because she's like, you and your the dog has to go in the garage. Poor Merlin has to take it on the arches to the garage. I'm like, what a mean lady.
Yeah.
She's making the dog. It's raining outside. Dogs should be part of the home. They're lovable and adorable.
It's not a cat.
Strike one, Labyrinth. You make the dog go to the garage. I love dogs. Strike one.
3 minutes in, already a strike one.
Yeah,
for
strike
Simeone.
one.
Got it.
Okay, so then I'm like, well, poor Jennifer Connelly's got this mean stepmother, but then her dad's a dork that does not. He's like, okay, I guess I'll go talk to her.
Whatever my new wife wants. Because
and I'm like,
hot
strike
and I'm a
two.
nerd.
You
Yes.
got to love your kid no matter what. Strike two, Papa. But then now I'm automatically 90 seconds in, 3 minutes in, I'm rooting for Jennifer Connelly until she has a spaz attack. She has to babysit a baby, a baby brother.
It's not like the cool jock from high school is calling her for a date or she's got something big planned. She was just rehearsing a scene from a play in a park.
Right, and then the baby's crying because that's what babies do.
Yeah.
Babies cry. And she's like, and then...
If you're getting into the babysitter racket, you're going to have to deal with some tears here and there.
Yeah.
Okay?
And they're cute tears.
Yeah. It's a little kid.
Little babies.
He
are
looks
cute.
like the baby that gets kidnapped in Ghostbusters 2, by the way.
Oh, very true.
Looks a lot like
that. Yeah,
that kid.
I love babies. Okay.
And the kid's name is Toby.
So strike three. I'm already not emotionally involved because they were mean to a dog. Now she's being mean to a baby.
Now, were you really pissed that I picked this movie now? Are you pissed
No.
at me?
I was glad I wanted to see it because I had heard so much about it, and I guess part of the reason why I have issues with it is because it's not nostalgia for me.
Okay.
So it was not a part of my childhood.
Right.
And it's kind of like a chick flick.
Well, it's kind of like now is Ellis had never seen Commando until about 3 years ago.
Because he's a Russian spy.
He's a Russian spy. And he watching, like, I don't get this movie. I don't know why it's good. I was like,
it's Arnold in his prime.
We don't have to get back into Commando. We know we're passionate about it. See, I'm with you on this one. I hadn't watched Labyrinth in probably 15 to 20 years.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I'm not a sociopath.
Right.
Or an 11-year-old girl.
Right.
So I'm watching it, and there's no impetus for her to just beg. So she wants the baby gone, so she begs a Goblin King.
Yeah, she automatically turns to evil.
Yeah, it's kind of like Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, and then somebody appears out of a mirror. What was that thing in school that you did? Did you do
at
that?
midnight. I never did it. At midnight, don't say if you stare into a mirror exactly at midnight and say Bloody Mary 3 times.
The honey man comes or something?
Like the Bloody Mary devil lady attacks you.
I'm not going to do that.
I've never done it, never will.
I remember
not a fan of scary or evil or creepy.
3rd grade, they locked me in a bathroom and turned the light, and then there was a girl in there, and she screamed "Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary," and
bye.
And I ran straight for the door and hurt myself. Anyway,
dude, I would have Frankensteined her just to get her out of the way. Like that's when that's an act of desperation when it's this move.
I don't want to hit you, but I might have to hit you.
The windmill to the door.
So then it smash cuts to like these weird faces saying we're gonna take the baby. There's an owl that's totally animatronic, and then Bowie just shows up, and she all of a sudden is like, well, that's the Goblin King.
Yeah,
we didn't know it was the god. Just if a guy shows up that looks like Joan Jett, you're not gonna all of a sudden assume it's the Goblin King.
No, I would assumed he loved rock and roll.
Yeah, he
and wanted you to put another coin in the jukebox, baby. Chicks like the worst stuff. They really do.
Oh my god, that's so good.
How many push-ups do you think David Bowie could do on set? All right. Nobody's counting. No, we're all counting, Bowie. Yeah. Drop and give me 10. What does it mean? I have magic.
So then the baby. We don't actually see him taking the baby. The baby's just gone, right? And he's
because she wishes for it, and then she rolls out, and then the baby stops crying.
Right, and so. Then he's gone, and he's like, you got to go through this labyrinth to get to my castle. And the castle looks like it's about 500 miles away. And he's given like 12 hours.
Yeah,
okay?
13. Yeah, 12 hours, 13 hours. Ticking clock.
Like I'm saying.
Inciting incident. Baby's gone. Now, I guess.
It took them 3 movies in Lord of the Rings to get that far
to
a
I know.
mountain. Okay, it's taken her
Lord of the Rings I liked.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the one thing I did pick up on is everything in her bedroom comes into play in this alternate universe fantasy, whatever it is. Sure. I'm still not sure what
Again, we're not given any of that information. The only way you would know that is if you really studied the movie or read IMDb.
Yeah.
Because it's not like...
Well, I noticed, like, the one thing that stood out was the Wizard of the Oz book. And then I was like, maybe she was reading and it wasn't... Wizard of Oz. Because it was like, oh, okay, that's kind of like what this is, sort of. Sure, like, it's like a little girl that goes on a journey.
Right. Little girl goes on a journey.
And I didn't notice the David Bowie statue she had until the end.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until the end either.
And then I noticed the sort of the Muppets that were on the wall kind of came alive.
And the little squire is riding the dog that gets shoved in the garage.
Yeah.
Right, so these are all coming to her life. So it's basically a dream sequence and not a dream sequence. It's and here's the thing. She gets... I don't necessarily think that you needed the level of grotesqueness that is in the Labyrinth, right? The guy that's supposed to be your best friend, Hoggle, he's hideous.
Yeah.
I don't want him anywhere near me, anywhere, in any kind of labyrinth.
He's creepy. I didn't like the lessons this movie supposedly taught.
No.
Like he's kind of... He opens up with him taking a leak in the fountain. She's like, oh, am I in Fantasyland? And then there's like this drunk little troll... who looked like he stumbled out of the 700 level of Veterans Stadium of an Eagles-Cowboys game. So he could go outside and sell pretzels to everybody, right? Hey, I'm taking a leak. I'm all boozed up on a Sunday morning. I was like, is that my cousin Vito? Like, you know what I mean? Poor soul. He's a very lonely man. Anyway, that would be something my mom would say. Don't mock him. He's a poor soul. Pray for him. He needs your prayers, not your scorn. So it opens up with a Muppet taking a leak. Am I wrong? Am I inventing this?
With a plastic head. And here's the thing, okay? She goes in the labyrinth. They're not getting any kind of action in a labyrinth, okay? This poor troll is just, he's been sitting there forever.
Hang on.
Like, oh, there's a girl that shows up.
And then there's like no gateways, and it's like, no, look at the wall. And she walks through the wall, and he's spraying fairies.
Yes. Yeah.
Ugh.
Spraying fairies with like a crop duster. And
I was
then the
so
fairy
mad.
Bites her.
I was so... And
they don't, do we have... Okay, we got it. We got a special guest calling in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. A very good friend of the both of ours, a former co-host on Three's Too Much, stand-up comedian. You know her from Epic's Dirty Sexy Funny. Ladies and gentlemen, Justine Marino.
Hi, Justine.
Hi.
Justine, we are tearing Labyrinth apart.
But you liked it, right? Because you're a girl.
I mean, I obviously like it. Yes, I love Labyrinth. I have a magic dance tattoo on my ribcage.
JT, can you show that picture right now? He's showing the picture to the fans. Justine, I'll show you the picture after the show's over.
Is that, you really did that?
That's a real tattoo.
Was that planned out, or was that like New Orleans drunk freshman year in college on a dare?
Nope, this was her and Stephanie Sambari going to.
No, this was a sober choice. The same guy did it. The one that did my "You Got It Dude" in French tattoo. So
yeah, you got it dude in French also tattooed on her. You should see Steve's face right now, Justine. He is utterly perplexed. He does not know what to do.
I mean, I love Labyrinth. I saw it in Denver at Red Rock.
What, you went to like a special outdoor showing of it?
How old were you when you first saw it, if you don't mind me asking?
I was very young. I was probably 4 or 5.
4 or 5? You weren't creeped out by it?
Yeah.
At that age?
I wasn't creeped out. No.
Okay.
I just remembered loving it and really relating to her because she had brown hair. And that was how I related. When I was younger, I would just relate to any character who had brown hair.
Right. You're really doing some crack work here, Justine.
And chicks dig evil,
I heard
right?
you were talking about crop dusting throughout the Labyrinth, which
the bog of eternal stench.
Fairies are spraying and shit, but it's a pretty dope movie. And that dick bulge. Wait, can I say that on this?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
I mean, the dick bulge is like. You can't get. It doesn't get better than the David Bowie dick bulge. So
okay.
Hashtag it doesn't get any better.
I don't know what you guys didn't see in the movie.
Steve hated it. I mean, I had a little nostalgia because I watched it when I was younger. I enjoy the movie. I think watching it now, I rewatched it this weekend, and I don't like it. I'm
because
like,
you're a dude.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in between of like, okay, I remember why I liked this when I was younger, but now I hate it, and I'm eternally creeped out. Though I would like to do drugs and watch it. I really think that would be the only way it would redeem itself to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good. I was a little drunk when I saw it at Red Rocks, and it was definitely just so much more enjoyable.
Sure.
But
like most things.
Steve, did you see it for the first time?
First time, yeah.
Or what?
Yeah, for the first time.
So
I don't have any
can
nostalgia to look back and go, oh, this reminds me of my, a time when the world made more sense, and this was something I look forward to. I just saw it, and I'm not like a big fantasy guy. Well, no, that's a lie. Like, I love comic book movies and fantasy with like awesome action. Yeah. But I just thought it was like evil Muppets, and then she learns these she's an awful person that sells her essentially.
She hates that brother, that baby.
Yeah,
she's
the
like yelling at the baby.
Cute, innocent, little adorable baby, and she's like, I hope demons take this. Muppet evil demons take it. And then she goes in there, and then she realizes like the first lesson is, nice. It's not fair.
Sure.
And then
not
the
fair.
one guy, it's not fair. And they're like, nothing's fair. So then she steals that guy's jewels, right? And then he becomes her friend. Then they wind up on a duty river. And then because David Bowie's jealous of the little gargoyle.
The bog of eternal stench.
The duty river.
Yeah. It's just a porta potty outside a construction site.
Yeah, please. So so it's like, okay, so now she's going to be evil too. She steals stuff. And then this awful guy that kidnaps her baby that's torturing her, then she eats the piece of fruit and she has this like weird, creepy, eyes wide shut fantasy with him. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh, God. Chicks like vampires and sorcery and all that creepy stuff. Drug dealers. Like, there's never a guy that reads to preschool kids that's getting any action.
No,
chicks are like,
without a doubt.
Nobody that brings anything positive into the world gets rewarded.
Justine, I want to say like over under 150 times you screamed "It's not fair" and like ran up to your room and slammed the door like right.
So many times. As an only child, I really related to that character.
Of course. So you are Jennifer Connelly in Labyrinth, but with a little bit more redeeming qualities.
Yes, I do. I feel like I have a few more redeeming qualities. I would never yell at a baby and like leave it alone in a crib while I went to practice my theater lines or whatever. Which that one line that she can't get, I'm like, it's not that fucking hard.
Yeah,
power over me,
it wasn't Shakespeare, for Christ's sake. She was like, "Oh, you have no power over me." It's like she was just screaming in a rape whistle, basically, at that point. Yeah. Oh man.
But I can see where Steve. I would be curious if I would like it as an adult if I hadn't seen it as a younger person, because what was that other Jim Henson movie?
Dark Crystal.
I got like a 3-pack. This guy that I hooked up with ended up being a dick. He like fucked up and got me a 3-pack. It was Labyrinth and Never Ending Story.
Okay.
And that other one,
the Dark
with
Crystal.
just the puppets in it.
Dark Crystal.
Dark Creatures. And I hadn't seen that Dark Crystal. Yeah. I hadn't seen that as a child, and I didn't like that as an adult. So maybe it's the nostalgia factor.
Probably.
I think we're going to go 99% of nostalgia, 1% bad decision on a tattoo.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I love all those. I love dance and magic. So either way, it's a winning tattoo for me.
Steve is crushing you right now. It's incredible. Justine, thank you so much for calling in. I miss you. It's been way too long. We're going to get you in studio very soon, okay?
Oh, good. I would love to, because I'm sure I have very different views about what you guys consider a guilty pleasure movie.
100%. 100%. Thanks for calling in,
Thank you so much, though. Thanks.
Bye, Justine.
Bye.
I think that's I love Justine.
She's awesome. She likes cupcakes. She's not all wrong.
But she does hit the point of every girl's thing is, they don't like things that we like.
Yeah.
They would. She nailed it on the head. She's great. She's funny. Let's bring in our special guest, who's a big fan of this movie. He's in town from Ohio. You guys know him from his YouTube channel. You'd also know him from the You Reviewer Awards, and he's been on the Schmoes Know Main show. He's out here in LA, having just been married.
Whoa, congratulations, buddy.
And he's coming on Guilty Movie Pleasures. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Stuckmann. Round of applause. Take a seat, Chris.
Thanks for hanging out, Chris.
Welcome to the show. I believe JT has to come in and fix a camera. Oh, we got it. Okay, we're good. We're good. Chris, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming in, dude. Now, you're probably sitting there hating on the fact that me and that Steve and I didn't like this, because you said you made a music video where you were naked dancing to the Babe.
What?
Just go ahead and tell the story.
What? Okay.
I can't hear myself.
You can't hear?
No.
Just take off the earphones. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Very cool. no nakedness in the video. No nakedness. There's people scouring. Oh my God, where is this?
Well, when I asked you, I was like, "Is this online?" You were like, "Fuck no."
No way. And that's exactly what I said too. When I was a kid, and I don't love the Labyrinth. I don't. It's for me. It's just like it's similar to what you were saying. It's like I did grow up watching it.
Okay.
But I recognize it's got flaws. I mean, it's got tons of flaws. I mean, it was directed by Jim Henson.
Sure.
Who the puppet master of
literally
eternity.
and figuratively.
Right. And not really a filmmaker.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were just so many things about it that as a kid I connected to, and I always liked darker stories when I was a kid. And
Okay.
I kind of
you do have a little dark side.
I do,
Chris Stuckmann.
I kind of like how it was like more creepy than I like whenever a kids movie does try to be more creepy or a little bit more adult than it should.
Yes.
That's just me. But also it has David Bowie, as you said, with the dick bulge running around. And what's interesting,
it's basically like an equestrian uniform that looks like he's got equestrian boots and a whip at points.
Right.
And he'd never learned how to use the balls himself. Those were ghost hands that they inserted. And yeah, I swear to God, they were ghost hands. They were a guy that was like a professional juggler and like magician, and he was the one.
You're telling me David Bowie never knew how to handle the balls properly? I'm sure there's some people out there that could dispute that.
Dispute it.
Stop me up.
Do you ever see that music video with Bowie and Mick Jagger?
I think I want to now.
Oh, it's incredible.
I think I want to now. But it's funny. I don't know if you were going to mention this, but originally Jim Henson wanted Michael Jackson to play that character.
I did know that. I heard that. Yeah.
Or Sting.
He preferred Sting. Yeah, but the producers wanted Michael Jackson.
Right. Which would have been a completely different movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Equally as creepy.
Yes, if not creepier.
Yeah. I don't know if he would have been up for the dick bulge as much as Bowie was just full.
Well, I don't know. He was pretty animated with his crotch.
Oh, okay.
He'd probably in his performances.
Yes.
I mean, he'd probably get into it.
I got you. Yeah. I don't. The nostalgia aspect of it, yes. I think that maybe the darkness of it was maybe why it was a little more redeeming to me as a kid. That at least had somewhat of a grit, and now it seems way too dark for my parents to. I mean, it's a G-rated movie perhaps, but like when you were a kid and like after you watched Labyrinth, I'd go in the woods and think that like the creek was the turtle's bog of stench and like run around the creek. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
And you always wanted like some sort of like furry creature friend, and like the giant ox-looking Ludo was the kind of dude that.
He was my favorite part of the movie,
without a doubt,
because he could summon rocks.
Yeah,
I think he was like. He was like the poor man's Chewbacca.
Correct. Yes.
Basically.
I mean, he was basically, like the Snuffleupagus of the Labyrinth, you know what I mean? Here's the other thing with the Labyrinth is, okay, the Goblin King just like hangs out with goblins all day, right? So he's a human. He hangs with goblin in this mountain. What's his life like? Why it's poor? I mean, the guy
pretty lonely. I'm guessing.
I mean, the Labyrinth looks like nobody's been around there for ages. Nobody's swept up. Nobody's anything. All these things, and then they finally get to the town, which is what a town would look like. It looks like the town in The Hobbit or whatever. The fact that he summons the rocks. The guy on the horse, that like the monkey that rides the dogs at baseball games. Have you ever seen that?
No,
you've seen that, right?
No.
I'm listening. What? This sounds fantastic.
This intrigues me, though.
So this guy has this monkey that he puts
monkeys and dogs. I'm in.
That's basically.
Here, how much, sir? How much to walk into the tent? There's a monkey that drinks beer. Get in the car. Any which way but loose. We have to do that. Right turn, Clyde.
Yes.
Now that's a movie I can get behind.
Yes.
An orangutan. With
but there's a guy that goes like baseball games and football games and basketball games, and he's got this like Australian sheep herding dog and this little capuchin monkey on a saddle, and the monkey rides the dog, and he like rides the dog like this, and he just runs around.
Hours of entertainment.
It's incredible. And the best part is look this up on YouTube. The guy goes to a baseball game and they interview him, and he's like, and he's crying. He's like, all I ever wanted to do in my life was have a dog with a monkey riding it. Like he's crying. It's perfect. It's so good. But
if you're out there watching, we could totally be Facebook friends. Dog Monkey Man. I think I have a lot in common with this guy.
Hashtag it Dog Monkey Man. Hashtag it GMP. We're fine. See, the funny thing is, once she got her crew together, Ludo, the squire, and the dog, even Boggle to a point, but you never trust the wino outside the Philly game.
No.
Right? You never trust that Boggle guy because his face
characters
is so gross.
were coming up and disappearing and coming up and disappearing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a kid's movie, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. I think for a lot of people, it was like, it is it is a really weird movie, and it's different. It's original, so it has that going for it. But at the time, it was actually pretty revolutionary in regards to some of the effects.
Sure, okay,
you were talking about the owl.
Yeah,
that was one of the first times they really tried to do a fully CGI thing when it swoops in there, and because like that was really revolutionary technology.
I will say that was one part that I found impressive about the movie was that it's almost 30 years old, and it was still visually appealing.
Absolutely.
Like at no point did I go, oh, this looks terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Like all of it was like good.
They did a lot of practical effects, a lot of stuff that was like you said, animatronic, where and that's the kind of stuff that holds up because it's a tangible thing in existence you can look at. And
now they would try to motion capture it. If they were gonna remake this movie, it would be all motion capture. It'd be like Andy Serkis and 9 other dudes in motion capture suits running around like a soundstage in Burbank.
Yeah.
Starring Adam Levine or some current pop singer or something.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And it would be it would be like a girl, but it would be like Ariana Grande or something that would do it. And because here's the other thing too is there isn't anything. And listen, I personally know David Bowie. That was going to be like the capper of this.
What?
Of this.
You're kidding me.
No, okay. So,
dude, that video he did with Bing Crosby, tell him thank you for that.
Yeah.
Bowie and Christmas, I can get
Bowie. Okay, here's the thing. I was living in New York. I've told this story.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna just tell you. So I was living in New York, and I went to this gym. It was called Synergy. And so one day, my buddy was a trainer there, and I used to just hang out there because I was unemployed and I'd work out and whatever. And this dude walks in, and he comes to the front desk, and he's like, "I like a trainer," and he like takes off his hat, and I'm like, "Holy shit, it's David Bowie," right? Because he lived in the neighborhood.
Oh my god!
And so he goes up to my buddy. I was like, "Yeah, this is our head trainer, Paul, whatever." And like after he's done with his first session, he and I just geeked out. I was like, "Holy shit, that was David Bowie."
Yeah.
Next day, he comes in, and we're watching. It was right before the World Cup in 2006, and we're watching some highlights, and he's like, "Oh, you blokes like soccer."
Blokes.
Yeah,
I love the Brits.
Yeah, awesome.
They're my favorite.
And so,
thank you for heavy metal, England. Thank you.
And he's like, we should watch some games together, and I'm like, Bowie wants to watch Panama. So we go and watch the first game, England versus Sweden. Me, him, and my buddy Paul, and we meet a couple other like Brit fans that he knew because Paul was British, right?
Right.
I'm just American and I like the sport. And we get there and the bartender's like, "Yo, is that David Bowie?" He's like, "Yeah, it's freaking Bowie, right?" So we're hanging out and Bowie doesn't drink, but he picks up the tab. Anytime he would go, he'd always pick up the tab, no problem, right?
Wow.
Awesome.
So we watch like 4 or 5 more soccer games together. I see him at the gym all the time. He and I become buddies. He invited me like to a charity thing one time. One time I went to a dinner party at like a thing that he did that like Bowie put together. He always invite Paul and I to these things, right? So one day we're in the locker room at the gym, and everybody's always like, "What did you ask him? Like, what was the first thing you talked about? Like, did you talk about Ziggy Stardust?" And I was like, "No, I wanted to know like about the balls and laugh."
That's hysterical.
Yeah, no, he's like, "No, those are fake hands." I was like, "Yeah, well, screw that." So and Ziggy Stardust is one of my favorite albums. But I will say, we're in the gym, we're in the locker room, and he's looking at himself in the mirror, and he'd been working out for like 3 months, and it was like the first time in his life that he'd worked out.
Oh wow!
And he's looking at himself. He's like, I can really see some changes, and I just go, changes, and he just turned around and looked at me, and he shook his head, and he walked out.
That's amazing.
Dude, don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. I need it.
That's
awesome.
amazing. You know what?
You know
what I would have asked him? I would have asked him what he thought the first time he heard Ice Ice Baby.
Oh, because they stole the whole beat off him. Yeah.
I mean, it's like every time I hear that.
I just wanted to know Labyrinth stories. Literally, I was just like, "Dude, tell me about Labyrinth." He was like, "It really wasn't. It was a pretty big deal." And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You sat around, you play with Muppets, you play with toys," and he was like really into the role. He said because he's been in a few things, but he didn't do a ton of movies really. But he's like, "I got really into this role." I was like,
"Well, I believed him as creepy in it."
Creepy
at the end when he's like, "I can be cruel."
Yeah.
And then and Jennifer Connelly was like, "Awesome, that's what I want." It was creepy.
And then here's the thing though that always creeps me out about Bowie in this movie is like he'll just break out into like a creepy solo. Right, he breaks out in the thing.
Yeah,
and that's where you made the music video of the Babe, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
This is how we're gonna end the show today.
So here, I'm not singing, but
yeah, you are.
No, thank you. But no, basically what I did, I made this stupid, idiotic short film when I was like 15, where I just made my own, basically like SNL skits of movies, like little parodies, and I did one for like The Matrix Reloaded and everything, and The Labyrinth.
Awesome.
The Labyrinth.
These aren't uploaded anywhere.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, come on, man.
Upload it to my brain and only to my brain.
Upload them and then just put them as unlisted or private and then give us the code. I want to see some of this
And then you'll
stuff.
make them public for everyone to see. And...
I would never.
At one point, you could do that, though. As like the DVD extras of your body of work. Like,
True.
Yeah, here's my humiliating upbringing. So basically, I'll describe it to you.
Mine's
okay?
online.
I'll describe it to you.
Go ahead.
I had stuffed animals lined across the top of a couch. Okay, those were the Muppets. And then I come walking down the stairs, and there's like this little beat. And
do you have a dick bulge? Is there a dick bulge?
I just naturally have that. And then I walk by the couch, and I'm just eyeing all my stuffed animals, like looking at them, and then I just start, singing. You remind me of the Babe. What Babe? The Babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo. And I just start doing the whole fucking thing, and I've never showed it to anyone.
That's awesome, though.
But it's real, and it exists on VHS tape on this earth. In my room. And
that's fantastic.
That's the only place it'll be.
Oh my god, dude, it's so incredible. You got to upload something. I want to again make it private. Give me a code. I don't care. I want to see some of this funny stuff.
I'll give you like a screenshot.
You should do a one-man show. And like go, this is what I was thinking at the time. This is what I think now.
Yeah.
Of those videos, I'd pay. That's amazing.
That's a great
Broadway
idea.
That's a Broadway theater production.
Yeah. I'm not into sadomasochism,
emotional torture,
public humiliation.
I gotcha,
dude. It just sounds. And I love homemade videos. All of my VHSs that we made, on the camcorder, were basically my dad yelling at my mom at baseball games and him not getting anything. He'd hit the home run. My dad would keep the camera and like he'd look. So like you just get gravel. Like, that was all of our home videos.
I know
wasn't allowed
somewhere
to touch the camcorder.
from 7th grade there's a karate movie me and my friends made called The Legend of Wang Ho. And my buddy Chris Katona's little brother had to play somebody that was dead. And no lie, he's playing somebody dead and he was like... I was like, this is perfect.
Always happens. I made a lot of short films as a kid, and we did a karate one too. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had somebody dead, and their stomach is just going up and down. You can't breathe right now.
Just
no breathing.
Hold your breath for 30 seconds.
Right.
Oh, it's so good. Chris, tell the people where they can find you.
On YouTube, my name is Chris Stuckmann with 2 N's. Stuckman.
Stuckman.
You make a lot of puns.
Do the Stuckman.
You can make a lot of puns out of it if you want to. All kinds of things. Twitter, same thing. Chris_Stuckmann.
Chris _Stuckmann. Mm-hmm. And you're here. You're on Jedi Alliance. You're on me profiles. You're coming on Between the Sheets this evening.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna be the main show on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Spending your time in LA with the Schmo crew.
Yep.
Schmoville loves you guys. You can follow me on Twitter at Josh Macuga. Go to my YouTube channel, The Casual Mafia. Watch Between the Sheets. New episode every Monday. Go to iTunes. Rate, subscribe, comment, and get us up in that top.
Please.
And
then you can find me AwesomeSteve.com. I do another podcast called Good Times. This guy's going to be on it this Sunday. Tune in for that.
Dude,
and if you're in LA, Friday, October 3rd, I'm headlining the Melrose Improv.
Yes. And so thank you guys for watching Guilty Movie Pleasures. We will see you guys next week. We don't know what movie we're going to do yet. We haven't talked about it, but we will announce it on Twitter and Facebook.
Awesome.
How's that sound? See you guys next time.
See you, buddies.
From the Schmoes Know Network Studios in Los Angeles, California, it's time for Guilty Movie Pleasures. And from producers Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes Know Network crew, we would like to thank you for listening to Guilty Movie Pleasures. What's your pleasure? Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Guilty Pleasure movie episodes or other episodes of the Schmoes Know Network shows, get movie news, or to join the conversation, be sure to visit schmoesknow.com. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of the Schmoes Know Network.